This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. I'll start off by giving all praises, all honor, all glory to Kol Elohim, by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rachah, Kodash Bakatham. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, appearing like the other nations with whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. So, Brother Yah, what's up? Coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Shai. This is a Newsbreak article came across my feed, and just that's why I started with Isaiah chapter 10 about woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, because a decree is usually a law, or in this case, mandate. Uh, and basically, being that the government has deemed everybody, you know, that's employed, and it's another article that's on Newsbreak, which if you don't have a Newsbreak app, I highly suggest you invest in, downloading it, because it's a lot of different articles on there, because it's not just one source of publication of news. It's multiple national news articles, so it pretty much keeps you informed with a lot of different stuff. And basically, it was an article on there talking about how is it legal for the government to mandate that we have to take um, go holler at Vanessa. And actually they said no. So the way that Biden is getting around it, his administration, is that's why they're going through OSHA, because they can't mandate per se you. They can try to, it's kind of like how in the court of law, or with the cops, you have rights as a citizen and they don't tell you your rights. You know what I mean? And they'll, what's the word? Infringe on them rights if you're not aware. Um, that's pretty much with this, like a lot of people not knowingly that they set themselves up. You're a guinea pig with this, like I said. So pretty much a lot of people that took this are compromised. You know what I mean? Like, and I know people just like other brothers know people that actually took this stuff, and you know what I'm saying. And like I said, I mean that's how you know it's really spiritual too, because literally nobody, people will be, what's the word, questionable on accepting something from a person they don't know. Yet still they gonna go take something uh that they don't know what it is. So they like, get the fuck out of here. Then like I remember leading up to this, me and the one young brother in the camp, Ricard, we did a lot of videos on this and literally like brought it up numerous amounts of times. Like, these companies that created this aren't going to be held liable for any side effects. That's why you got, they was talking about that one basketball player that basically had blood clots form. I forgot what his name was. He was like the league, and I believe his team told him to keep that under wraps. And then I think they still like ended the season. And he was like, basically, he know that this vaccine is what ended the season. So I got like 10 minutes till I'll get back to work, so let me try and hurry and read this. After Monday's deadline for state employees to provide proof of vaccination or face being fired, the Washington State Patrol announced on Tuesday the number of employees it has lost due to the mandate. The spokesman Chris Loftus said in news release that as of the close of business on Monday, 127 employees left employment for varying reasons and its varying ways. The employees who left due to the mandate include 53 civil servants, 67 troopers, 6 sergeants, and 1 captain. So we're going to say that's roughly 74 officers. As for more than 2,000 individuals who elected to stay with our agency. And that's the whole thing. They knew that by mandating it, you was going to have people that was going to quit. But, like you got to remember, they do, what's the word? They do they do studies and whatnot. So like they knew that people were going to quit, but they knew by because like the news was even making mention of that by basically putting them in a position of basically from pressure from above, pressure below, it was going to make a lot of them actually. That's why the number went up. And like I said, you compromise yourself based on trying to hold on to this world. Because like I said, you don't even know and then you hearing about the Hydra and all, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, when you feel the spirit behind it, it's like I've never seen nothing like this. I mean, unprecedented times. Um, so it says, as for more than 2,000 individuals who elected to stay with our agency, I'm forever thankful. We have the responsibility of the agency to carry forward, and I am not going to ask you to do more with less. And like I said, again, these people sit back and they do think tanks, and they study shit. So therefore, like because at the end of the day, it's a whole totally different agenda behind all this. Like literally, okay, they already knew that you was gonna have a certain amount of police officers that's gonna quit. So then, what happens when these police officers quit, and then you have an uptick in crime? Literally, what's gonna happen is basically, they're gonna have to get another agency to basically do the policing, and it's not surprising with this National Guard, and they kind of lightweight. What's the word? Kind of introduced that with all the riots and whatnot all last year with the whole, certain situations they was allowing the National Guard to be on on the soils. You know what I mean? So it's it's kind of like with the robot dogs as well. You know what I mean? Like they had one in New York, and so when people see this, it's not going to be as abnormal. They're trying to normalize it to a certain extent. You know. So basically, that's pretty much it, because that's the spirit. So basically, what is this going to do? This is going to create a lot of tension, a lot of suffering, and made me think of another scripture. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 94. I'm sorry, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? Because at the end of the day, these devils, they use the policies and their law to enact policy. I mean, like basically, you look how basically by mandating this, those that choose to not partake in this is going to be deemed the problem. And if you can't see that, then you really can't see. The Lord literally has you blinded, because literally, like I said, everything is, they going to blame everything on the unvax. You know what I mean? Like, well, take time to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, literally, how the fuck if the vax got the vax, but the unvax ain't got it, but it's still the fault of the vax? You know what I mean? Like, that shit don't make no sense. So, again, uh, you know, this is going to cause a lot of issues, especially with these police officers leaving. Because it's not just police officers. You got certain soldiers, because you got a lot of them that chose to take it, but you got a lot that actually opted out too. Just like you got a lot of special forces. You know what I mean? Like I did a video on that maybe like a month ago about you had like Navy SEALs that actually like dropped out. Uh, what was I gonna say? And based on the lack of police officers is going to lead to Second Ezra chapter 15, which we always tend to bring out, but we in them times. You know what I mean? Like, this is prophecy. You've already been seeing this prophecy taking place, but with the different protests and the different, the Capitol riots, even you could use that as an example of this. But this is Second Ezra chapter 15. I'm gonna start at I'm gonna get to the point because I gotta go though. This is Second Ezra chapter 15. I'm gonna start at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Because you're gonna have people that's gonna be fighting against other nations. You're gonna have people that's gonna be fighting. You're gonna have these law enforcement gonna be fighting civilians. If civilians fighting law enforcement, you're gonna have so-called blacks fighting so-called whites and these other nations. You're gonna have ex-military fighting the military, all that. You know what I mean? It was somebody just did a video about that. I think it was the brother who pages Bakura Month from Men of Valor. He was showing something, I think in Beirut or in another country, and basically it was like military where they was getting it in. And you're gonna have pockets of that because you already got people that are ex-military or was former military and resigned or whatever. You got a lot of soldiers that feel some kind of way about the whole situation with Biden when they all left um, the country that the Taliban took over. So you know what I mean? Like you got a lot of division in this country, and that's the point of this. Verse 16: For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And you know that's going to be the modern day sword, which is the gun, as well as any other weapons. Verse 16: For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man should desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And you already seeing that now. It's funny because I remember when they was talking about Israel, the land of Israel, how they was making that pass where you had that pass to move about, and they're like, oh no, and then you got it in the states like where they're talking about it's unconstitutional and they're not agreeing to it, and you got certain states that saying they're not agreeing to it, but then now you got it's certain states that's doing this stuff, and eventually there'll be the whole country. You know what I mean? Like, because basically this is because the thing is this: even if you got opposition within the country, it's ultimately the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua for this to take place. Now, don't get me wrong; the opposition could be because for the Most High's glory. However he got it set up. You know what I mean? Like everything and everybody has their lot. You know what I mean? And the thing is, sometimes as painful as it could be, you know, the thing is to stick to you know the plot. You know what I mean? Like I tend to do that, and I mean, I can't speak for anybody else. I'm just say, you know, you trying to make it your will when like Yahweh Shah said, let your will be done, not mine. So at the end of the day, I mean, whatever your lot is, you got to accept it. So pray for the Most High to put you in the spirit to accept it. I know, I mean, I can actually say a lot of the hell I brought upon myself is from not trying to actually, bucking. I guess what would you say, being rebellious? You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to do my will as opposed to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah's, and Salakia for that, because that's in First Samuel's, rebellions as the sin of witchcraft, you know. So we come into hellified times, everyone. Like I said, um, that's not the only city that's police officers are quitting. You know, you're gonna have more and more people that's quitting, and you're gonna have on top of all these ports being all tied up, and just all the other stuff that the Most High got working. So like Psalms 119 said, um, you know, may the Most High work, roughly paraphrase, because I made void thy law. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, to the statutes, and to the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, or be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Kol Loyim, La Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem, double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Until next time, I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom, and mawath lababal. Shalom.